Before we start going over some of these to get you going again today, I just wanted to point out that what I told you on Friday was that a lot of these you've already done. So number 7 is the same as number 4 on page 11, so you can look back there to do that. Number 8 is the same as number 3. Number 9 is the same as number 2. Guys, your voices should be off right now. Please, Cameron, turn around and be quiet. In Lixu's garden, number 5. Number 11 is a new one. This is just the second page. So I was just double checking so you would know what ones you could refer back to. The rest look like they look new. I might be missing some though. Heather, Joseph, Nina, Orlando, a semi-truck. All right. So hopefully on Friday you figured out several of these. I'm gonna be kind of jumping around. You've got fractions divided by other fractions or whole numbers divided by fractions, and you do need to know how to do that. So looking at number 4, you have 12 divided by 3/7. So that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write 12 divided by 3/7. In order to do this, I have to turn 12 into an improper fraction. Remember, any whole number we can put over 1. This is page 1 in your reinforced packet. This is number 4. Remember, to divide, we have to keep the first, so we're keeping this as is. We're changing division to multiplication, and then what do we have to do with the second? Flip it, so it becomes 7/3.
I learned something. I probably got it. For one, I know, right?
Imagine paying attention. All right, then we can look across our diagonal and think, can we take out a common factor from 12 and 3? What can we divide them both by evenly?
3.
3. 3 is the only thing we can divide by 3, right? I mean, 3 is only divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. So this is simply 4 times 7, which is what? 28. That's it. There's our answer. 28/1, which is just 28. Did you get that?
Yeah.
This is the same. We have 4/5 divided by 10. So we're keeping the first, changing to multiplication, and flipping the second. Remember, 10 we can write as 10/1. So that helps us to think about flipping it, right? It becomes 1/10. Looking across here, they're both even. What can I divide both 4 and 10 by? 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I simply have 2/25. So if you hadn't simplified it, you might have gotten 4/50. Make sure you know how to simplify fractions. All right, number 6, we're simplifying. 5/7 divided by 3/4. Remember, we have to rewrite it. We keep the first, change to multiplication, flip the second. We look across the diagonals, neither have anything in common. So we're just multiplying across the top. 5 times 4 is 20. Multiply across the bottom. 7 times 3 is 21. That is it. We've already done number 7. If you forgot how to do it, go back to your notes on page 11. Same with number 8, number 9, and number 10.
Really?
All right. Now we have to put into practice or into real life our dividing by fractions, right? Missy rode her bicycle 16 miles in 1¼ hours. What was her average speed in miles per hour? Remember, per is like a fraction bar. Per means divided by. So here we have miles per hour, or miles divided by hours. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the number of miles, which is what? 16, and divide it by 1 1/4. So before we can do anything, we need to change both of these into what? Improper fractions. So 16 becomes 16 over 1. Then we're going to keep our division sign for now. Remember to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. Right now, I see some of you that don't understand this staring into your computer for some reason. It should be put away. You should have this out and you should be working along with us, right? So we're going to take the bottom times the whole number. So 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 makes 5. So I have 5/4. We might get confused and start multiplying, but this is what? Division. So we can't do that. We have to rewrite it as multiplication. We have keep the first, change to multiplication, and flip the second. So we end up with 4/5. I was hoping it was the other way because we could have factored it out, but we can't here. 16 times 4, you can use a calculator or multiplication table, but it is 64. 1 times 5 is 5. So how many groups of 5 can you take out of 64? What's the closest number you would get to without going over? 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So 12 groups of 5 would make 60. So if I subtract 60, how many would be remaining? 4. Now, you guys, if you were to put in 64 divided by 5 into your calculator, it would say 12.8, 12 8/10. 12 8/10 you should be able to put into a fraction. That's something else you need to know how to do. You should know that 8/10 simplifies to 4/5. Right?
Yeah.
Well, if you put it into a calculator, it would read 12.8, which is 12 8/10. Again, you need to know how to read a decimal. You need to know how to change this decimal to a fraction, and you need to know how to simplify fractions. All things you've learned, all things that you should be reviewing if you don't know how to do them. All right, so we're always figuring out what are we dividing by. So this is laps per minute. So we're going to take laps divided by minutes. Does that make sense? So you're going to take this and divide it by this. You want to do one more together?
Yeah.
So we have 5 3/4 divided by 8. So the first thing we have to do is what we did here. Change them to improper fractions. Nice and slowly here with this mixed number, we take the bottom times the whole number. 4 times 5 is 20, plus our numerator. 20 plus 3 is 23/4. We're going to keep our division sign for now. How do I write 8 as an improper fraction? Excellent. We're getting there. Now we have to multiply by the reciprocal. 23/4. We're keeping, changing, flipping. We can look across, but there's nothing that they have in common. So 23 times 1 is 23. 4 times 8 is 32. And this is not simplifiable either. So this is not quite a whole lap in a minute. Right? This is 12 and 8/10 of a mile per hour. That's what those answers mean. All right, so you should be able to do 13 and 14 and 15. These are all the same. Right? So in hours, so square feet divided by hours. If it's ever different, like 14, they want you to find it in 1 minute, but they're giving it to you in seconds. They're simplifying them for you and giving you what your minutes are. So you're going to take your mile divided by your minute for 14, okay? And then finally your last page looks the same too.
I think they're all this today.
Well, you had Friday as well, so if you didn't do any of it on Friday, you might be playing a little catch up, but
I did one.
you should be trucking along. You're not gonna have, you're supposed to work on it on Friday. So whatever you could get done. Yep, work quietly though. I'm guessing you won't be able to. You just need to work your best. Right now, you're just wasting time worrying about it, right? So just do your best and work along quickly.